Hi, welcome to Cubs and Culture for 11/18/2018. Sorry that these have been so slow. It's the holidays, so I've been working more than I would like to. Probably tomorrow I'll get to the Cubs stuff. I'm still trying to think about how to frame that one. Anyway, we're up to the 1963 Best Picture winner, Tom Jones, not the singer, the movie. It won 4 Oscars, picture, director, screenplay, and then musical score. And then it received 5 acting nominations. Finney Griffith for the lead actor and supporting, and then 3 supporting actresses. It's from the novel A History of Tom Jones, a Foundling. This is a novel from the 1700s. Very long book, over 800 pages. The movie's not that long. It's about 2 hours, so obviously it's very tourniqueted and sped up. And I've heard it's actually relatively faithful to the novel, despite all that, and it's very tourniqueted. I really, really like this movie. I'm really surprised it doesn't have... well, 2 things surprises me. One, it's kind of has a bad reception, or not as strong as I would think. I mean, critically, it's okay at 84%. And even though the numbers are basically pointless, because it's basically push polling, I'm really surprised it only is below 7 on IMDb. I think it's because the movie's not intentionally, it's not very polished. Anyway, let me bring up the trailer and clip. See you in a second. Okay, so Tom Jones tells the story of a bastard in the sense of he doesn't know who his parents were, and he was born out of wedlock. Sexual escapades, escapades in general, but particularly sexual escapades, as he's growing up in the 1700s England, and the movie is entirely a social satire on how class, in the sense of being rich, doesn't lead to being being class in terms of being, kind and polite and a good person. And it repeatedly shows like hypocrisy of religious believers, and hypocrisy of so-called proper people. And the movie is absolutely hysterical. Albert Finney, this is by far my favorite Albert Finney role. I have to say it's a little bit disconcerting, given my age, that Albert Finney is actually very attractive in this movie. It's absolutely hysterical. So that would all, I think if you just took this script and filmed it more or less normally, it would have been a very good film. I really, really like how this film is filmed, though, because of sort of the choices in cinematography, which, as you can tell, is very pared down, kind of gritty and ugly looking, like that. And then the use of wipes and breaking the fourth wall is sort of a stylistic thing. I really think not only is this film, Tom Jones, the story and the novel, sort of kicks the upper class in the pants. I think this movie, because of the way in which it's filmed and its techniques and everything, ends up kicking the period pieces or chamber drummers, I'm not being technical here, in the pants as well. And so I really like to think of this film as sort of the anti-period piece, because it's ultimately very irrelevant, and very, very funny, and very, very disrespectful towards sort of the conventions of the stuffiness and staginess of traditional period pieces and everything like that. And it's such a fun movie, and I love the cinematography and how washed out and problematic, washed out and antique it looked, well, without being pretty. And the film does stuff like that all the time, breaking the fourth wall, which also sort of kicks it in the pants. Now, the first scene I want to show you is the opening scene of the movie. It's shot in, well, it's a bit of silent cinema, and the reason why it's in the film is it's to set up sort of the tone of the movie, which is being irrelevant, towards the past. So this film right here, is a silent film section, but there's a couple of shots right here where the camera's handheld. Now that's actually, technically speaking, wrong. Silent films, they never held the camera like that. That shot would not occur in the silent era. And you might think, well, if you're trying to recreate the period, why would you have those handheld shots? Well, the point of the matter is, the movie is about trying to make the past like it is today, basically, and then making it more alive and less stuffy, and less about how the past actually was, but what we can take from the past as it applies to us today, and then also sort of kicking the convention and the conventions of the genre in the pan. So those shots, like the story as a whole, undermined sort of the staging of period pieces. That shots of being handheld sort of undermines this film's own bit of stuffiness of being a silent section to open it, and I think it's absolutely a brilliant choice. Excuse me. Anyway, in just terms of plot, this is Tom being found, and that guy, Allworthy, is a rich person, and he's going to raise him, and eventually he's going to send him away because of the machinations of the plot. He ends up being convinced that Tom is just not a good person. Then that's Jenny Jones. She's important because of a sequence we're going to show later. She actually takes the blame for being the mother, but in actual fact, spoilers, I guess, Allworthy's sisters is Tom's mother, so he's illegitimate, but he's actually also his nephew. Everything like that, which is important because the movie ends up basically mocking the hypocrisy of British class and the way in which the landed gentry thought too highly of itself, and that they're just as fucked up as the peasant class. And so Tom's mother being Allworthy's sister is actually really important for that. And so Jenny Jones just sort of takes the fall, and that's all important. Probably my favorite part of the film, though, besides sort of the shooting style and technical aspects, which I think are absolutely wonderful. I mean, they're not pretty, but they're absolutely wonderful because they're unpolished and rough, which is, I think, one of the reasons why they people have a problem with this film, because they're not quite getting the joke. Anyway, my favorite character, favorite bit of this movie is actually Hugh Griffith. He's the guy right there. He plays a country estate owner, Weston, Squire Weston, and Tom's interested in Sophie Weston as sort of his main romantic interest, and he's the Squire Weston is Sophie's father, and there's something absolutely hysterical about Hugh Griffith. He was actually literally drunk throughout most of the shot. That's my favorite bit of him, just sort of stealing her away. It's so funny to me. But Hugh Griffith was actually drunk through most of this, and basically the point of that character is he's coarse and utterly crude, but he's sort of honest in that. He's not like the Allworthy, where who's also sort of cruel and he's fucked up. Weston is fucked up, but he embraces that where other people don't, which makes him a very funny character. Basically, every line out of his mouth is comedic gold. Anyway, so this is probably the most famous scene in the film. It's my other favorite little bit. It's Tom's been sent away, and he's met this woman who's Miss Waters on the road, and he doesn't realize it, but that's Jenny Jones, obviously, who at this point in the story you think she is his mother, which you find out is not. But in any case, they're having a flirtatious moment over food. This moment is actually so famous, it's got parody on The Simpsons with Grandpa Simpson at one point, which is hysterical. It's the episode in the retirement home with the pills. Now, to me, I think this film the scene shows a lot of reasons why I really, really like this shooting style, because being a period piece, anti-period piece. It's not a very polished piece of film in terms of editing. I mean, there's sort of the grand joke about how you never see the food come and go. It just keeps changing because right now they're at chicken and it becomes oysters randomly and then fruit, which is that. There's some Albert Finney does this bit really, really well, and they're both really, really good at being sexy with food, basically. And so, because you think it's his mother at this point, the first time, it's really creepy watching it. But then once you find out she's not his mother, it becomes absolutely hysterical. Everything like that. That's what I mean by it just switched to oysters. So I think there's that. And then the other thing is you look at sort of the cinematography. In a normal period piece, the lighting would be a lot stronger, and then the art direction would be not so drab. Because the movie's actually very dirty and grimy, and so the past isn't prettified. It's sort of dirtied up and messed up, because we're all sort of messed up in that way. Everything like that, and I really like that. So I really like how this film form and function, because cinematically, in terms of the directorial and editorial techniques of like the wipes and everything, it kicks the conventions of period pieces in the pants, while the story is all about kicking the hypocritical morals of the class in England in the 1700s. In the pants, and then it's just really a good form and function. It makes me a little form and function. It makes me a little bit sad that the director feels bad about this film, because he still likes it, but he thinks it's unfinished and he thinks it's too rough, and he doesn't think he deserved the Oscars, the director of the film, and I think that's a little bit unfortunate. I really like. I don't know if it's a happy accident or what, but I really like the sort of the energy that the unpolished nature cinematically gives this film, and it feels very much like a again, like an anti-period piece, but like a 60s sex comedy that just happens to place in the 1700s. On top of, you can start feeling a little bit of the French New Wave in the film, because it has breaking the fourth wall, it has the dirt and the grime. Anyways, that will be it for Cubs and Culture. See you guys tomorrow.